What we say in the book is that there are four fundamental types. So a stream-aligned team, which other people call a product team, but they can be aligned to a stream of work that is not necessarily a product. But definitely they are one of the core types of teams that are delivering value to the customers or to the users. And then that team, because they have more and more demands on them to be able to operate, test, release their systems and run their applications in production as well. They need some kind of help, right? They need some support because that's really a lot of cognitive load, a lot of demand on them. So the other three fundamental types of teams are helping the stream-aligned team do their work. So we have enabling teams, which are typically teams of experts in a specific area that will then collaborate with stream-aligned teams to help them gain the capabilities that they are missing. Either it can be anything from test automation to build engineering, architecture, what have you, but they have an enabling role. They're helping bridge the gaps that the stream-aligned team might have in the way that they build and deliver software. We also have complicated subsystem teams. We had a hard time coming up with the name for this type of team, but it's not just the usual component team that you're trying to share component between different teams. It's really those kind of subsystems that need such deep skills, expertise. We're talking like PhD level kind of things, or a lot of many years of experience in a niche technology, something like that, where it really doesn't make sense that the stream-aligned teams or product teams, if you want, would embed that kind of expertise, because first of all, there aren't enough people and it would be very costly. So it's where you can say and set a very clear boundary on this is a subsystem that requires such deep knowledge that we need a team responsible for that, and interfacing with the other teams that are going to use that subsystem to make that experience smooth and easy to use. And the final type of fundamental topology are platform teams, which we're going to talk a little bit more about.
Yeah, I think that the interesting thing about platform is it's maybe not the platforms of the past, because platforms of the past often in many organizations were great massive things, very difficult to use, black boxes, and teams had to use them. It was mandatory to use these things, and it was awful to use in many cases. Not everywhere, but often these platforms are just awful. The platforms we're talking about place a strong focus on developer experience. So they see other development teams as their customers effectively. So they run the platform as a product or a service, really thinking about how development teams what's their experience in using them. In fact, some organizations go so far as to use NPS, Net Promoter Score, to rank how well the platform is behaving in terms of developer experience, which I think is great. So a platform itself might have a kind of fractal, or a bit like a Russian doll effect, where inside the platform there are stream-aligned teams, because that's part of a product that you're building. So you use the same kind of topologies from higher up the organization level, if you like, within the platform, and that's something that's often missed in organizations. That the way in which we build the platform is software. We use software development techniques that we know about, TDD, but we also use agile software delivery inside that platform. At the same time, we're not aiming to build a massive platform. We're aiming to build what we in the book call the thinnest viable platform, TVP. So this TVP could be just a wiki page. That if that's all you need for your platform, it says, so we say we use this cloud provider, and we only use these services from the cloud provider, and here's the way in which we use them. That might just be a wiki page. That might be your platform. That's all you need. If that's all you need, don't build anything else. But you're still running on a platform, but you don't make it any thicker than necessary. So that's why it's kind of thinnest viable platform. Obviously, as your enterprise gets bigger and bigger, or you've got more complicated challenges, you'll need to build some stuff out. But the focus is always on kind of stream-aligned teams as the customer, what's the developer experience, making sure that we're kind of using agile software delivery practices within the platform to build it itself.